Good evening. I'm your host, Dan Stafford with Midwestern Geek in Cali, and I'm going to do my second live stream tonight. Video casting from lovely Temecula, California, 42 Tardis Way, which is really my garage, but I love that name. Anyways, huge Doctor Who fan here. And so tonight I have a few interesting things, so let's get off the infinity screen for a bit because I need to use the infinity screen to start doing the stream here. And yeah, I'm live on live streaming on Twitter. Live streaming on YouTube. Got a mixed social media message there, I guess. Anyway, let's hop off that. And obviously this is my site. You can get here by going to MidwesternGeekInCali.com. That'll land you right here. And I have all my shows here. A little bit about on this site here. Let me throw the glasses on. Don't mind the glare down in the little corner screen. But I really need them to read anything this close right now. Over on the right hand side, yeah, obviously there's the donate button. I had to mention that, but yeah, thanks if you do. There's a little intro to the show on the right hand side. If you're on YouTube watching this, obviously you've got access to my show intro by just going to my channel. But all my episodes are usually here with show notes, links to things that I'm talking about in the shows. You can subscribe by email if you're interested in getting the text version of us with all the show notes in your inbox. Also on the right, I have archives of all the episodes that I have published on the show in order of either oldest to newest or newest to oldest, so you can get at those. I copy those every day, and you can just go and show order by show order and title if you want. I also have links to several other things geek related, a little bit of show stats, yada yada, and then also you know, a little bit about me and stuff, but most importantly the shows and all the show notes. So that's why MidwesternGeekInCali.com is worth spending a little time on if you like a show and you're interested in any of the topics, and it's something that should be linked. I have show notes on the site. So again, just MidwesternGeekInCali.com. That'll bring you here. And then one of the other things that I want to talk about tonight, there's a couple of things actually. One is Tweetdeck. So let's go. 3 of them would be nice. Okay, tweetdeck.com. Tweetdeck is a tool that's been around for quite a while now, and it was originally used by it was its own company, and it got to be good enough that Twitter actually bought them. And of course, there's people doing funny stuff on Twitter as usual. You never know what you're going to see on here. But one of the nice things about Tweetdeck, what's really cool, they give you all your default columns that you would have. And in all these columns, you can see a lot of what's going on. Here, messages, etc. I don't find messaging on Twitter to be worth much, really, to be honest. You know, most of it's auto-generated message. If you follow somebody, you know, occasionally you might actually have a conversation, but 90 to 99% of messages are just automatically generated when you follow somebody. And so I almost ignore direct messages on Twitter anymore. I don't find them very useful. Simply because they're so automated. Yeah, okay, fine. You know what? Why not just a simple thank you for following instead of trying to, anyway, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole with that. But what's really powerful, okay, so this home, this is just like, you know, whatever my normal timeline is on Twitter, whatever would normally be, that's coming up over here. But what's more interesting is over here to the right. You'll notice that these columns, if you look at the top, are following hashtags. And this makes it possible to follow in real time hashtags that are more current. Right now, I've got these hashtags up because I was trying to show a friend of mine who runs a news site how it would be fairly easy to follow hashtags that are chasing you know, up to the minute news regarding things that are going on, you know, fires, floods, storms, earthquakes, you know, and all that kind of newsworthy stuff. But also, you could, you know, I've got one here, dance party. Okay, so they were, you know, it really depends on what it is you're trying to follow, but you can follow multiple things at once. And the nice part here is that once you find one, even if it's spouting like 5 tweets a minute, you can come over here and scroll down, and then now all the new stuff is coming in at the top, but you can still go back in history and kind of look through what's been going on here. So if a hashtag is very busy, you can really you know, keep up with it this way. You know, and multiple. There was one night several years ago when there was massive flooding in Queensland, Australia, and I was in the Chicago area, and I was actually following multiple hashtags for the Queensland flooding, and I was in Chicago actually helping connect people that needed resources with people that were offering them. You know, I would just do a tweet with the 2 accounts mentioned in the tweet and say, hey, you two need to talk to each other regarding, you know, whatever it is, shovels or blankets or emergency generators that, you know, one has and the other needs and stuff, and see if maybe you're close enough to do something with that. So it was kind of really cool in an emergency situation how you could use Twitter for logistics by using Tweetdeck and following multiple hashtags at once and then connecting people across them. So that was pretty cool. So let's say you want to dump a hashtag over here on Tweetdeck. I just click on these little 2 lines. They look like little sliders, and then it gives me options here. I can change what it is, okay, or I can just remove the column, okay. And then let's say I just want to add a new column. Well, let's go over here and take a look and see what's trending on Twitter real quick. I'm going to hop over to just my general Twitter feed, hit home, and then let's take a well, that looks like a fun hashtag, seduce me in forwards. I'm an old married guy, so maybe not, but let's see. No, I don't want to get into the political one. Bad things to hide in your pants. That's funny. Well, let's see. Ask Thundercat. That looks interesting. So let's see if I can get in there real quick, and then I'm going to copy the hashtag real here. Okay, copied. Now I'm going to swap back over to TweetDeck. Over here on the far left, I am going to click on the search, paste that in, hit the enter key. Boom, I've got a new column at the far right. Let's see, can I drag these columns and change the, no. So it's whatever the most recent one just appears at the right. And okay, so now I am following that's interesting. That's like it didn't even take. That's not happened before. Okay, there we go. Now it took. I don't know why that would be that way, but if this were a really busy hashtag, it probably was earlier today. Look, another one just popped in. Okay, but I'd be able to follow it in real time. If it was really going on, you would see tweets just pop, pop, popping in this column right now. This one's kind of died down, obviously, probably because of the time of day. But, you know, I can follow a whole lot of hashtags all at once here in Tweetdeck with this. And it can become a really handy tool that way. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a hashtag either. Let's take a look over here. I want to see if there's an account that might be interesting to follow. Let's go to home, get off there, and let's see. Why not think with Google? You know, just as an example. So I'm going to go ahead and copy their Twitter handle. Let's go over here to TweetDeck, and then let's dump the Thundercat here and think with Google. And now I've got all the tweets and replies for Think with Google. Now let's say, for instance, I wanted to follow about 5 different accounts. So let's go over here. Let's find a few more accounts to follow here. And let's see. Not interested in AT&T. Not interested in Atari Jones. DC Comics Talk. That sounds kind of fun. So let's snag their handle here. Come over here and I'll replace the storm. Okay, now I got what's going on with that. Maybe let's go over here and see about Marvel. Well, Marvel Entertainment, that one might be good. Okay, so just at Marvel. So I'll copy. Oops, that was not what I was trying to do. Copy at Marvel. Come over here, dump the earthquake. There's at Marvel. And let's see here. Let's see. I'm kind of a comic book nerd. I'm probably not the only one on here. Yeah, let's follow DC versus Marvel Comics. That sounds fun. I probably should have grabbed the account handle first. No, I don't really feel like following Disney. Hollywood Reporter, that might actually not be the worst one. If I wanted to get news regarding upcoming movies and films and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and let's back up. Go back to the search results for Marvel Comics. Captain Marvel seems to be big right now. Let's go ahead and follow that one. We'll dump the flyer. It's been raining here in California. God, thank goodness. And follow that. And now let's say I've got a few favorite accounts on a subject. And now I'm following those accounts and what's going on with them in terms of tweets, tweets and replies. and possibly retweets and stuff. Notice here you have access to likes, you have access to retweets, you have access to replies to the tweets. You know, so you can really turn TweetDeck into a pretty powerful tool. Hey, that's a kind of a cool picture of Galactus there. That's like old school, man. That's from, like, looks to me like what I was reading back in the 70s when I was in high school. That's cool. And this is a little bit more modern. I think the Hulk must be at the top of one of his hops there. You know, so let's see, what do we got here? Wonder Woman. Pretty cool. Shazam. That's going back. That's going back a minute. So as you can see, you can really get a lot out of TweetDeck if you use it. So that's one cool thing. And that particular little demo was for a friend of mine that I've been wanting to show how to use this. Actually, a couple of friends. Inland Empire Sports and News. Hey, this is for you. Another lesson on TweetDeck. It's not just about following subjects, it's also about following specific accounts. So just in case you want to switch gears or add some columns on there. And my other friend who runs Puddinhead Press out of the Chicago area, which is a small poetry publishing house, and he's got a new endeavor as well that he's starting up. Well, hey Dave, this is TweetDeck. It's kind of cool, so this one's for you. You and Charles, and all the rest of you out there. Hope you enjoyed that, but let's get off of TweetDeck. We're going to go ahead and drop that for now, and I'm going to go over to Google Keep. Don't know how many of you know about this, but Google Keep is a pretty cool site for doing a to-do list. And so I am going to create a new to-do list, and I'm going to title it Midwestern, Geek, and Cali Show Ideas and Prep. Alright, so now I've titled it, and then on the list item, let's see here, I had something, real quick, this is my desk at work. Yeah, I'm an IT instructor, and I decorated for the holidays. Also, this big post here that I have decorated with lights, which this reminds me I need to pull down some garland to go around with the lights, but that pole is all decorated out with lights too. And then there's my little buddies 697 and 698 hanging out for Christmas, trying to figure out what the heck kind of saucer is this. Anyway, I got my 697 certification first, and then his bestie 698 came in. My second certification, which gave me a Microsoft Certified Solutions Associate for Windows 10. I'm now working on Windows Server courses. I'm getting towards the end of the first one. I should be racking up another cert here in another month or two. And then let's get out of the pictures, as fun as they are. I wanted to do something about getting a co-host. So I'm thinking about casting co-host pool. So let's do a to-do item. Okay, and let's see. let's improve my spelling a little bit. I think that's better. All right, so now I have a little short to-do list here. And let's see here, creator, find, casting, co-host pool. Yeah, I want to figure out a way to have possible co-hosts available online that could work with me, either remote over the net. Well, it'd have to be remote over the net, but find a way to find people who are available to co-host the YouTube channel with me briefly online, and be able to tell when somebody's live and available or not. So let's figure out a way to do that and a way to integrate it so that they could come into the show with me, and I could actually have a more than one person show. That might be kind of fun. And that is still left to do, so I'm not going to be checking that off. And then build a link list for episode 81. That's the one we're in right now. This is episode 81 of Midwestern Geek in Cali coming up here that I'm actually producing right now. And then teach folk how to use Tweetdeck. Oh, we got that one done. That's knocked out. So I just checked the little box on the left, and look, it's down here. It's one completed item. Okay. Teach folk how to use Google Keep. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of that right now. So let's check that one off. And then take a nap before the show, because you're always tired on Friday. It's the end of the work week and you've been sleeping 5 hours all week long. Yeah, did that today. So you notice I'm not quite yawning into the channel. Hopefully that does not start happening. It tends to happen to me no matter what when I've been talking for a long time. I don't know. Don't ask me. It's a weird quirk. But if I'm talking too much, I tend to start yawning, which is why I keep a mug of coffee here to kind of cut it. But anyway, yeah, that one was done. Okay, and then teach them about the Keep color palette. Well, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. So you can also change the color, so you can have multiple to-do lists on Keep. So let's go over here and let's see. I kind of like orange for this one. A little too much. Light brown. That actually kind of goes with the show. Let's see. Yellow. It's kind of Christmas time. That's not really Christmas green though, is it? And neither is that Christmas red. Google. You might want to amp up the color palette for this. Let's go back to the brown for right now. That seems to be kind of good for this one. And then okay, there's something about indentation here. I don't really care. Doesn't really matter to me too much. I could add pictures. I could archive the whole list. I can share it with other people, collaborators, they call them. Okay. If we get a good conspiracy theory going, we'll have to do a list like this and then become collaborators on the list. How's that sound? Ought to be fun. Oh, and I can set up reminders on this. And over here, I can pin this list to the top, because guess what? I can say, okay, close this. And now I can come in and do a whole new list. And let's say personal to do items. And let's put this one in red. Nah, let's not put it in red. Let's put it in yellow. It's a little that's kind of almost my show colors a little bit. Okay, and then let's say watch TV with my honey. And Yeah, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So watch TV with my honeydew this week. Honeydews, grocery shopping. Send off checks. And then aren't there any fun things on this list? Yeah, etc. Okay. And then since this is the account for Midwestern Geek in Cali, guess what? I'm going to pin that one so that it's at the top. And I can create more, create more, create more. New note with a drawing, etc. New note with a picture, etc., etc., etc. And I find the list function actually to be the most useful. However, another thing is, before I jumped in here on the show, I added the extension for Google Chrome for Keep. So with this, let's see, over here on the Marvel Comics feed, okay, so the title of the page as far as Keep is concerned is at Captain Marvel. So anyway, which is probably what I have selected below there. All caps, I forgot. Okay, so it's saving this note, and that's done. But let's say I go over here, now I come back over here, and oh, the note's still there. What if I go over here? Is there another note? No. It's taking the title and using that to title a new note and Keep. Now I wonder what it looks like when I go back over to Google Keep. Yeah, it took notes. So let's go and over here to more and delete note. And go over here to more and delete note. So as you can see, Google Keep is kind of an interesting thing to do, and it can help you keep you organized. And they have a pretty nice mobile app for your smartphone out there, or tablet, or whatever. So you can use the web version, works great, or you can use a mobile app on mobile, and they all sync to whatever Google account you're logged in with. So there's Google Keep. It's a handy dandy little tool. Another free cool thing from Google. Yeah, I know they're a double-edged sword, but they have a lot of really good stuff. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for this one. Anyway, so let's get out of Google Keep, and I think I'm going to call that a show for the night. I had a couple other things in mind to talk about, but I didn't get in here and do my list. So I'm going to have to start doing, actually I should start doing a Google Keep list with ideas for the show, and then start checking them off when I get those done. I think I kind of just did that. All right, folks, so let's take the glasses off. And oh, one other thing that I found kind of interesting. What was it? I had a thought for a second. I was going to talk about yeah. Okay, one other thing I want to look up real quick. Let's see, potential market for electric car retrofits. Interesting article from The Guardian here. Retro electric making petrol guzzling cars eco-friendly from The Guardian. That's over in Europe. I'm not going to do anything but wade past the Google results, at least on a YouTube channel. Not happening. Not with all the copyright and all the silly stuff. But here's the bottom line. Let's see, number of cars on the road worldwide. 1.2 billion vehicles on the world's roads now, 2 billion by 2035. So, if we were going to really electrify vehicle transportation, we're going to make everything run electric cars. My point is this: there is an incredible market for people who want to design and build retrofit kits for existing cars to convert them over to lithium-ion batteries or whatever the latest newest battery is that's badass, and a couple other different ways you could at least hybridize these cars and cut the fuel consumption way back or take it to zero. I'm not sure if that's possible, but going completely to zero on fossil fuel in the vehicle transportation. But retrofit market for electric cars, there you go. 1.2 billion vehicles in the world. You know, the U.S. used to be this can-do country. Well, can we do this? Don't know. Would sure like to see him try. And there's a little company that I am interested in following, and maybe even if I can get them to do it, an interview with, called EV West. Not far from here in Southern California. EV West, electric motor store in San Marcos, California. And let's see, do we have, yeah, link to the website? Yeah, EV West. What these guys do is take classic rides and convert them to electric. Here they're selling parts, and that's all cool, but check it out. They're on YouTube. Even better. Let's see. How do I get this thing to scroll back to that YouTube channel? And even better. Let's see. Where's their contact page? Press, maybe? Ooh. Yeah, they're pretty much been all over everywhere. These folks, what they really do is, other than selling the parts to do this stuff, they also convert classic rides over to electric. Yeah, I think from what I understand, they grab crashed Teslas at auction for starters. That's one way they do it, and get the parts and then convert, say, like a classic Beetle or the old VW Vanagons, you know, the microbuses, or a classic Porsche, or a classic Ferrari for that matter. I doubt they've done many of those, but they might have done one or two. You know, old sports cars like maybe a Datsun 280Z, you know, or I don't know about American muscle cars. Maybe they might have done some of those, but they take cool classic rides, and there's a lot of them out here in SoCal because we have lots of sun and very little salt on the roads unless you're right along the coast. And so the cars hold up pretty well out here. You see classic cars out here all the time. They take them and convert them to full-on electric with like 150, 200 mile range. Like a Tesla Roadster kind of setup. So that would be a cool one to get into and talk with. But what I want to get at is that the potential market for companies doing this is probably pretty dang large. So I would like to see this happening more and more companies doing the same thing. Hey, if the big auto manufacturers aren't going to get into it, lots of room for the little guy. Just saying. So on that note, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for spending some time with me here on Midwestern Geek in Cali. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope the new format's working out. I'm going to try this. Last week, I redid it in just like a pre-recorded version, like the old way and the new way, because when I do one of these, it takes quite a bit of time for it to finish processing and show up on my channel for me to edit. So when I get done doing this show, I'm probably not going to see it on my channel because for probably 45 minutes or so. And that is because I'm not doing it with YouTube Live. I'm doing it with OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, which is an open source program, and that's how I'm able to do like the thank you note across the top, the picture in the corner, all that kind of stuff. I don't do that with YouTube Live, so unfortunately with this method I don't have access to the comments. If anyone's making comments on the live stream, I'm not going to see them until probably 45 minutes or longer from now, when I actually can see the show on my channel and get in and edit the title and edit the tags and all that kind of stuff. So that'll happen later tonight, and it'll be later tonight, like maybe right before I go to bed, before I really get to publish this in all my usual places. And so if you don't have me responding to your comments right now, it's because I can't see them for probably close to an hour yet. So it's part of the process. I wish I had a way to look at comments and respond live in the show, but I would actually have to do YouTube live stream direct on YouTube to do that, and I don't know that I can do some of the other features that way. So I may shake it up and do some YouTube live stream, but if I'm going to do that, I'm only going to do that when I'm here at home here in 42 TARDIS Way. I'm never doing YouTube live streaming again from out in the field at an event. Does not work. If there's any shakiness to the internet connection, it's just a mess. Look, I've had ones where the audio didn't come through. I've had ones where the videos just stopped, or it was horrible. Horrible. That just goes to show we need a lot better broadband connectivity in this country for mobile than what we have. 5G is hopefully starting to roll out early 2019 and going on from there. We're looking at, we just need a lot better mobile connectivity in this country before I will ever consider doing another live stream from an event out in the field via YouTube again, because the internet connectivity the technology is there on either end to support it, but the connectivity between the two ends is not really available in a lot of places, and usually it's not available in the worst places, like at Comic-Con or Anime Expo. Anyway, so that being said, anyone did comment on this, I'll see it later, and I will respond to the comments on the channel in text. That's the only way I'd be able to actually respond, and I can't really do a set schedule with this show. Not at this time. I'm working too much and studying too much, but I do love coming and hanging out with you guys and showing you what's on my mind lately. Now, I'd love to hear back from you with ideas or comments or anything like that that you want to talk about. Other than that, have a wonderful night, wonderful weekend. Oh yeah, and the holidays are coming up, so yeah, if you're not back here before then, have a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever holidays you're celebrating at this time of year. Winter solstice is coming up. All the cool stuff. It's a wonderful time of year. I hope everybody has a wonderful time with family and friends. You're all safe and happy and out there. And on that note, happy Vulcan fingers to you from the Agent of 42. And may there never be a rogue wave in your coffee mug or mine. No fair, I got a lid on this one. Anyway, and thanks again for spending time. Don't forget to stop by MidwesternGeekandCali.com later. Check out the show notes. I'll have some on there. And that'll probably be up by tomorrow. And then I'll be sharing this around late tonight. So thanks, guys. Take care, and gals.